The husband tied up his wife with vines and was about to abandon her alone on a deserted island. By the time she freed herself from the vines, he had already jumped onto the yacht. Just as he was about to escape alone, his wife calmly walked back into the island and took all the useful tools with her. She had long anticipated that her husband would abandon her. Ross's yacht sailed farther and farther away, and the rope tied to the rock grew tighter and tighter until, with a loud bang, the yacht capsized. Ross had no choice but to swim back to the island. Meanwhile, his wife had already crafted a makeshift bow and arrow from branches and vines, preparing to take revenge on the husband who had abandoned her. Ross was still searching everywhere for his wife, hoping to beg for her forgiveness. Before Ross could react, his wife shot an arrow at him. The arrow struck the tree beside Ross, and he froze in place, unable to believe it. His wife, who had once loved him so deeply, was now trying to kill him. She drew her bow again and fired. The arrow flew toward him at high speed, but Ross managed to dodge it. He could clearly feel his wife's intent to kill. He quickly hid behind a tree, but his wife pursued relentlessly, determined to eliminate the man who had abandoned her. Ross cleverly picked up a coconut and hurled it at her. Taking advantage of the moment when she was reloading her bow, he seized the opportunity and fled in panic. However, he underestimated his wife, who had once been a competitive archer. She stepped on a tree trunk, leaped high into the air, and fired a deadly shot. In the nick of time, Ross's survival instincts kicked in. He grabbed a nearby stick and narrowly blocked the arrow, avoiding the fatal strike. By the time his wife caught up, he had already disappeared deep into the forest. The next day, Ross crept up behind his wife holding a wooden stick, ready to strike. Suddenly, a bird called out, and his wife whipped around. Ross froze, not daring to move. Fortunately, she didn't spot him. He took a deep breath, raised the stick, and brought it down hard on her head. But the moment he struck, he immediately felt regret. After all, this was the wife who had once loved him deeply. Ross anxiously moved forward to check on her, only to trigger a trap she had set. He was instantly hoisted into the air, hanging upside down. Ross shouted loudly, waking his wife. When she looked up and saw her husband dangling above her, she realized it was Ross who had just ambushed her. She didn't give him any chance to explain, picking up a stick to deliver the punishment he deserved. But just then, footsteps suddenly echoed nearby. His wife immediately realized the island's cannibals were coming. She grinned, tossed the stick aside, and ran off. The stunned Ross was still hanging from the tree, confused about what his wife was doing. But when he looked up, he saw a group of cannibals running toward him. Ross panicked, flailing helplessly in the air. Luckily, he swung over to a vine and narrowly escaped the cannibals' hunt. Soon the cannibals were about to catch up with his wife. She plunged into the cannibals' camp, on the verge of being discovered. At this life-or-death moment, a large hand reached out from the darkness and pulled the woman into a cave. She struggled frantically in fear, but when she looked at the man, she realized it was Ross who had saved her. But what Ross didn't know was that he was about to face his wife's revenge. Follow me to watch the next exciting part of the movie.